Yeah. I had a buddy that makes music, and he's kind of going through that right now, where he worked with this producer for a really long time, and they were really close. They like went to college together. They probably been putting out music for like 6 years, and they had a falling out, and he messed up like his whole music cloud on Spotify, where like he changed his artist name on everything, and it was a
That's
mess.
just some cornball shit. Like, why would you even, how salty of a human being you got to be?
Yeah, it's just like you're just messing with someone else's like dreams and like what they work. And obviously, you can hindsight's 2020. You can say you shouldn't have been so close with somebody, but you think in the grand scheme of things, like especially when you're both like working towards a common goal, like even if you disagree on things as humans, like you think you're just trying to put out music, at the end of the day.
Yeah, the tough part with that whole producer thing, though, is the whole landscape of it is changing. And it's changing fast. Like, no one knows what's going on anymore. No one has any idea what's happening. Even recently, I myself had a fallout with a producer, worked with him for years, did most of my songs, my more popular songs, and vice versa too. And business just came, and the amount of different answers that we got from other people. My corner's telling me one thing, and I got to listen to them to make sure I'm doing business right in their experience. They they've already been through what I'm going through, so I feel like I should listen. And then he would have people on the other side, whether it's producers or artists, saying like the polar opposite, and it took a toll on everything. It just ripped everything apart.
Yeah, it's tough because eventually, like, it's never like obviously everyone's doing what they love, but even if you're doing what you love, at the end of the day, you want to get compensated, or you want it to be structured the way you feel like it should be. And if you have someone in your ear saying something, he has something in his ear saying something, it makes
Yeah,
it just difficult to.
exactly. And that's why that I chose that, because like, yeah, I'm just not gonna record on any of his stuff anymore, because at the end of the day, I started doing this because I loved it, not because it was the best business in the world. It's one of the worst until you make it. So I can't in the meantime be worried about um percentages more than I am the lyrics or melodies of my music. I'll just be sitting there working on it, just having someone in my back. So what are we doing with this song? Not that he would do that, but
Right, yeah.
that's what would be happening. Did I say that right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what would be happening in my brain.
How do you navigate that starting out, like, because obviously you get the song on Spotify, but what you don't get outside of that is what goes into creating the cover art, the little clip that goes when you click on the song, the production of it, the mix and master. How do you break up, like, as an artist starting out, like what is your approach as far as, if you want to call them splits or whatever, when you put a song out, or how you came to find how that should work?
Well, I had good friends that were already doing all of it, you know. So I just kind of followed suit, and then took things my own route. Some things stayed the same, but like for cover art, for example, I'll either get a hard picture and then just slap something on it myself with Photoshop, or I'll do AI and slap something on it with Photoshop. It's not hard. But then like the marquee and the snippets and everything, you got to know people that can get you high quality content, or at least know someone that'll hold the phone. That's what most people struggle with. I struggled with it for a really long time.
Yeah, because you can only do so much out by yourself that isn't obvious that you're out by yourself, recording it by yourself without
Yeah,
having
and
some.
unfortunately, the media hates you being by yourself for some reason.
Yeah, they
They
want to
just
know that
hate it.
someone else is recording you.
Yeah, they want to see that because it looks higher quality, or they want to see you in public because it gives some kind of engagement loop.
Yeah, they want to see people moving in the background so you feel awkward the whole time while you're
Yeah,
recording.
exactly. Like, my bad. I'll go to Times Square next time.
Yeah,
Let me do this in a Walmart because Target didn't work. Not
yeah.
enough people.
That is. I also want to know why. I guess they figure more people in the background make it more engaging because maybe it's playing off of what people are uncomfortable with, but it
Yeah, I
isn't.
think it's just a part of their algorithm. I think it's just like a landscape thing. It could be you're around a million people, or you're like on the best looking mountain view of all time. Those will probably perform similar. But like me sitting on my desk right here, I'm not going to land on nobody's page. It's not going to.
Just how it goes. How
Yeah.
do you structure time for all of that? Like you mentioned, making content when you put out a song, making reels or whatever it is. how do you structure your time with having to also work and create the music, and then also decide how much time you want to invest in to, just say, the social media aspect of it?
I'm still figuring that out. I'm really bad at putting out content. I'm hoping to get better, especially now that I'm working. But I just got to make this move to Nashville in March, and then I think it'll all fall into place. So I'm just kind of grinding it out until then. I'm gonna still drop some songs that I got. I still got to record some more, obviously, but there's not really a method yet. I still gotta break that.
Yeah, that's understandable. What what prompted you to like initiate a move to Nashville? Do you feel like just the music scene and the opportunities there?
Yeah,
Obviously, the
Memphis doesn't have
opportunities.
nothing for me. It's
Yeah,
just it's just doesn't got anything for me. There's a couple people here. You know, you got the Hit Kids and the Take Keys. Take Keys not here though. You'll notice everyone that makes it moves out, and if you don't, you get shot. So I'm not really, there's nothing here, especially for the type of music that I make.
yeah,
I've already had a lot of ears that have liked what I'm doing in Nashville, and there's been like two here, and there's already been more there in the 4 or 5 times I've been there. So
yeah. I know the Memphis. You do see that a lot with Memphis art, and like the Memphis artists that come to mind for me are like Moneybag Yo and like Finesse Two Time, like the hard rap that end up moving out to like LA or are more involved with other extracurricular
yeah,
activities.
exactly. Um, I think, or they'll have like a house here and somewhere else, but they don't. No one stays here. It's not like you don't want to stay here unless you're putting your people on. There's no point.
No, I did give off, not to like, I mean, I thought the music part of it was cool, but I did feel like I've been to a lot of cities and it wasn't Baltimore, but it did feel a little on the safe side, and it wasn't even at night when I was walking around. So
Oh, you said yeah. I mean, I think we have the number one crime rate, if not
yeah,
still top three. So
yeah.
it's
Well, that's
just not
exciting. Yeah,
ideal.
that's exciting to be moving though and getting into a new chapter of life.
Oh yeah. Leaving this shit behind me. I moved out at 15, out of my parents' house. There was a bunch of stuff going on. My dad was like, "Get out." I'm like, "Okay," and I stayed out until I was 18.
What
Say
was
less.
that like? 'Cause I feel like as a kid, you have that voice in you that's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave. And then you like do it. Like, what was the steps like after you first left and navigating that?
Well, so I left, and then like not even 6 months before that, I had met one of my best friends still to this day. His name's Colby Reed, and we just clicked. We just became really good friends fast. We went to Florida like a month after we met together and just free balled it the whole way. And his situation is similar in a way that like not both parents have always been there, kind of thing. So he had a spot for me in his house, and I'm like, all right, I'm coming. So I went and I stayed. We
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be a more temporary thing, but things don't always work out as you think.
Yeah. No, there's always changes that come with things.
Yeah.
What was that kind of just day to day at that point, or was that kind of you felt like it'd be like a few months and then it turned into a few years, or
Yeah. I thought we both thought it. I couldn't see at that time. I was 15.
yeah.
You're not thinking clearly. You're just going with life. I'm like leaving my house. All right. And then months went by, and it just kind of stuck. And then it became a problem towards the end of it. They were like, "All right, we're gonna probably have to see some rent here." And I'm like, "All right." And I was just, they felt a certain way because they kind of looked back at the time and realized it's like this was supposed to be a couple month thing, and I was, but shit happened.
Yeah. I mean that's one of the hardest things in life is you just don't know what's coming next all the time, and it's kind of impossible to have it figured out all the time,
Yeah, exactly.
especially at that age. Like,
Yeah,
who
I
knows
didn't
what's
know
coming
anything.
next?
I like to think I know more than most people my age, but I still don't know everything about life at all. I'm still figuring new stuff out daily.
Yeah, I do think that there's a lot. I think that there's a lot you get from, like, obviously there's the negative aspects of a situation like that, but there's also, I think you learn a lot faster when you end up in a situation where you have to rely on yourself more.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I definitely grew up quick. That's to say the least.
Yeah. And I think after that, it's kind of balancing. I think, like, whenever you have a situation like that where you have to grow up earlier than a lot of people, there's like the grind stage where you have to just like not know what's next for you, so you grind so hard, and then you have to like almost like at a certain point figure out how to like dial it back a little bit so you can be like a normal human again.
Yeah, yeah. I was trying to do YouTube and doing a bunch of crazy shit for sure, and then I ended up having to dial it back and get a job and figure everything out.
Yeah, it's not easy to do, but I'm sure it's made you more independent in the long run that way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm ready for this move. You know, right now I moved back in with my dad. I've been with my dad since that car wreck, but I'm ready.
Yeah, ready to have your own space and be
Oh
good.
yeah.
Well, that's exciting. What's on the horizon? I know we just had Be Here First, just came out.
Still got to make the next one. I got to make the next one. I ran out of my vault. I've been sick. I just had little motivation and then got the job. I was paying bills and everything. So the next one's coming. I got the project cooking. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you creating time for us to sit down and chat up and learn more about you a lot.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah.